Let's ready
Ready.
stand by.
Okay. All good, I think. And as always, we start off with. Let's get this open. Okay, audio's all good. So, today is. We have to do this first. So, rifle we've done. Next is sniper. Whoosh. Ah. Am I going to be able to pull this off with this character? Okay. Ah, missed. Okay. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be rough. Okay. Okay. からの。Mhm.アングルならよし。よし。あ、OK。 OK。からの。よし。Oh, hello, hello, hello. Hello, Mr. Azure. How's life? Or Mrs. Azure, it doesn't actually matter. Whichever one. So we will be getting into Freedom Friday, which is basically just news on the state of liberty in the US soon. But this first, and then Nikke, which will take roughly 1 hour usually, or longer. Who knows? It's very random. Azure is a very hard name to guess what the person behind it might be. Oh shit. Stop moving. Go away. You too. Okay. Oh, dead. Okay. Well. You know what? Oh, that barely did any damage. That sucks. Whoo! Taking this guy out's gonna be a bitch. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Back off. Okay. Finish that off. Oh, he keeps bobbing his damn head. Why not destroy that first? Ha. Okay. Okay, whatever. Whew. Okay, let's see. Grab this, which is just minus 33% HP and a DPS buff in exchange. Or damage buff. Okay, fourth wave. Shit. Done. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay. Okay. And this. There we go. Whoosh. Gain some distance. There we go. Oh, forget it. Now to get rid of this thing and there we go. Okay. Grab this instead. If our ammo is over 50%, so that's like what, 3 rounds, then we get more damage. Otherwise, normal damage. Uh-huh. Gotta help. Awesome. Okay. Okay. Hi. Oh, you know what? Since the boss is over there. There we go. Oh boy. HP, 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 HP. There we go. Okay. Okay. Blast this one off and oh, done. There we go. And that one over there. There we go. Okay. Okay. No, that's fine. Grab that. ADS damage goes up. Okay. Awesome. There we go. Oh no. Okay. Shit. Okay. Done. Get the sniper. Just position ourselves over here and we're good to go. There we go. There we. Oh, come on. Okay. Oh. There we go. Oh. Okay. Okay. That guy and the sniper to our left. Okay. There we go. Uh-huh. That's fine. So our E damage goes down, but our shooting damage goes up. Uh-huh. Which wave are we on now? 7. 3 more after this. Oh no. Oh, okay, we can one-shot them now. Okay, so that's... We can two-shot them. Ita. Okay. 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 Oh. Shit. Ita. Oh shit. Okay, so... Okay. Okay. Oh. Oh no. Oh, that hurts. Oh, god damn. Oh boy. Okay. We'll go with this. Oh, okay. Okay, so we got one more round of ammo, it looks like. 4, 7, yeah. Shit. I am so screwed. Ooh. Ah. I mean, if you're going to put down liberty as political, then sure. But I think only on Fridays I'm gonna do this sort of thing. Every other day I think I either have for art or I have for gaming. I can't call myself a Liberty VTuber if I don't at least cover some stuff to do with Liberty, so... So yes, I will be covering some stuff. We have some interesting topics. Now, the only issue I have with this, with Freedom Friday, is... I'm not always gonna have news, right? I can't expect to have a laundry list of things to cover every week. Which is, frankly, what I'm worried about. I may have to make it... Worst case scenario, it would be every month. Like maybe once a month. So I can gather enough stories to cover like 5-6 hours. Well, technically it'd be 5 or 4 hours. Yeah, 4 or 5 hours. But otherwise, yeah, it's only going to be on Fridays. But we'll see how much news I can gather up. Now, unfortunately, I don't have enough time. I didn't have enough time to also grab sources, which I should be doing. So I think starting, well, the next time I do Freedom Friday, I will have to grab sources. But we have some interesting topics lined up today. And after Freedom News, I will be covering different aspects of American culture. Because I do want to get some Japanese people into Liberty as well. Because surprisingly, there are a few Japanese people who understand what liberty is, which, at least better than what some people do. I'm not a Japanese person though. However, I do know that there are many Japanese people who do keep up with American news, which is interesting to know. So they know why, for example, they know why the Second Amendment is there. Now they don't want it for their country, but they can understand why America has it and why it should stay. Which is very heartwarming, to say the least. I mean, and if you want a VTuber that does political commentary, what's her name? Kershaw, the crazy white fox lady. Kershaw does coverage on that, and I do watch her stream from time to time. Her streams from time to time. So I'm American, and I was born in America. I was raised in Australia though, and now I live in the US. That is my entire background. That and I can speak Japanese, which is why I have it listed as a JP VTuber, but... Okay, so we filled that. We can try again tomorrow, maybe. I mean, sure, but Australia is technically getting fatter, so... That is unfortunate. It's not as bad as America, though. I think right now, the obesity rate in America is like 48%, 49% or something. It's insane. But yes, a lot of guys are into the bronze skin girls, so that isn't too surprising. Yeah, it was on the news a while back, a few months back. It might actually be higher now. It might actually be over 50%, but oh, the health situation in America is bad. People don't watch their weight. They're eating too much. They're eating junk. And they don't exercise, which is... That's a recipe for disaster. You know, it's 20 minutes. We can try that event one more time, but with a different class. I think with snipers, I may have to play with other people. I may have to do multiplayer to do that. So we're going to change that out for her. Okay, We'll grab that. There we go. Which is I think 50% chance to do additional damage. Yeah, there's no shortcut. Bad thing about humanity is we always try to take shortcuts. Sometimes it's just, yeah, do the hard work. It'll pay off. That and we want instant results, which can't always be the case. I mean, some people have it easier than others, some people have it harder than others, but for the most part, hard work will get a good 99% of people to be fit. And if you want to use a firearm effectively, you have to be fit as well. You have to be able to run around, maneuver properly, position properly. So overall, it's just a good idea. An 80-pound dumbbell, so that's like 40 kilos. Don't mind me, I'm an American that uses the metric system because I was raised in Australia. So 40 kilo dumbbell, why would you buy that? Okay, our movement speed is up and our HP is down. I should not have went up. Should have just waited for them to come to us. You live in Canada, yo. I'm so sorry that you're a leaf. I'm so extremely sorry. But thank you. Your country has proven what I say about anti-gunners is that whenever they try to ban one thing, they'll ban everything else as well. Which was funny. The only saving grace of Canada in that situation was a lot of Canadians didn't give up their guns, which was interesting to know. I was surprised. I thought they'd all give up their guns by now. Give me a second. I cannot read your comment because it is blocked by the heart icon there. Give me a second. Oh, okay, sweet. Kaishin damage. There we go. A 300 psi pounds per square inch is necessary to defeat most something to 5 foot high. If you can type what after most is, because that thing is being blocked by the heart icon, then I'll be able to respond to that. I have no idea what that says. To defeat most men? Maybe? I mean, if you have a bullet, you can defeat most people. It's great. Okay. No, that's understandable, but I'm very small, so that doesn't matter to me. I just use a gun in that situation. We are manlet here, which isn't really something I try to hide. It's fine. Oh, shit. But yes, if you're in some place like Canada where defending yourself with a firearm is questionable, I can understand why you need to train up. That's unfortunate, to be honest. If I can get myself an HP recovery buff, that'd be nice. Oh my god. You know what? Forget it. Not this. Oh, you're 38. Getting up there, man. Getting up there. Okay, still young. 38 years young. But if you take care of yourself, you'll be just fine. Let's try to not screw up this time. But 38, yeah, you'd have to be a lot more careful with like diet and stuff, huh? Oh no, the economy. The economy is screwed in most places now. They were warned. Everyone was warned. Hey, don't do lockdowns, but no. No, something. You value money more than people's lives, something. You need money to maintain life, but okay. Yeah, it depends. It depends where you want to buy it as well. Of course, if the further away from city you are, then the cheaper it'll be. Also depends on what state you live in, I guess. Should be similar to the situation over here in the US, but okay, we're doing a lot better this time. We're not outright eating shit. Probably because we're actually playing properly. Okay, that's done. All the way down to Texas. Can you handle the heat, my dude? It is humid as hell down there. And of course, for operational security reasons, I will not tell you where I live, but I do know it is humid as hell down there. I have some family, friends, and relatives that live down there. Ah, no, it's okay. It sounds like you'd be fine. I mean, good luck. The qualifications are stringent, but I'm sure if you put in enough work, you can actually get to the US. Maybe not. Maybe not. Nah, it's fine. At the very least, the law isn't going to come down too hard on your ass if you defend yourself, unlike other states, like California. Whatever you do not move to California. Let's see. So, oh, man, we're having bad luck with the buffs. Okay, so we have more HP now, which is, I guess, fine. $930, so shit. Okay. Oh my god. Shit. Okay, almost done that. Use this. Okay, use that. Seth Zine, I have heard of him. I have not watched him. I think some of the people that I watch him. Is he the guy that said that I think Kershaw mentioned it. I do recommend Kershaw if you go over to her channel. I think she streams on YouTube now as well, YouTube and Twitch. But I think she talks about him. And he says something like what, if the government doesn't allow me to do something, then I'm going to do it. Something along those lines, which is pretty funny. Inai no teki tsukau to. Good games are good, man. Yeah. So I'm guessing he'll do games like what was that game? Soma. Soma was a great game to well, watch. I didn't play it. But so what, he does story-based games? Because really, the only deep type of games are just story-based games. Hmm? Like Factorial, okay. The reviews are pretty deep. You mean deep as in just in-depth? If that's the case, then... Ah, I see. The review's comedy. The games are deep, the review's comedy. Factorio isn't a deep game, it's just a complicated game. Because you have to be artistic, quote unquote, to play this. I've seen Factorial gameplay. Oh, that looks like a time. Oh no. Okay. Oh boy, we are in so much pain right now. Shh. Oh shh. I'm gonna bring him up because I think most people will miss out on what we'd probably like to make in the future. You thinking of a genre? Like what genre would you like to appeal to? Or niche? Oh no. Oh, so he's okay, I know how to deal with this guy now. Okay. So if it's Factorial, okay. Yeah, those are two different genres entirely. Wildlife simulation. Sandbox. Sandboxes are fine, but sandboxes, but pseudo wildlife simulation. Kind of like Monster Hunter, except more. Sandbox, Monster Hunter, except more violence. I mean, Zero Sievert is sandbox. Except it's not. So you want to have tanky monsters as well? You're gonna grind for weapon materials and stuff, and you're going to take out tanky monsters, because the cell of Monster Hunter is really spongy enemies. Tons of grinding, tons of leveling, spongy enemies. But how would you implement sandbox in that situation? Yeah, but maybe a blood mechanic. See, oh, so a bleed mechanic. Oh. So big map, spongy enemies, a bleed mechanic. Okay, we'll bring that up. Wait, so a bleed mechanic for yourself or the monsters? Or both? So you basically have a dungeon map where you go to different sectors of the map. Ah, I see. So a more realistic Monster Hunter? I guess. If you're gonna have bleed mechanics. You're gonna have injury mechanics in that situation as well? Or just, nah, let's just keep it simple. Make them bleed. Done. The monsters to be controllable. So you want people playing as monsters as well? Or do you mean customizable? Oh, playable monsters, I see. Like in Rise. I haven't watched or played Rise before. Oh, you mean like you can ride monsters and use them? Is it that one where you like take control of the monsters with that thingy? With those string things? I think I've watched some gameplay before. Where you mount the monsters after knocking them down or something. Ah, yeah. I remember that. I have watched a bit there. So it'd be Rise, but you want more realistic mechanics. Essentially. Huh. That wouldn't be too bad, but the issue with Monster Hunter is the grind. A lot of people don't like that. Oh, you have to grind a ton for materials to upgrade your stuff. If you could take care of that, then I can see it. I can see it working. And then the biggest issue would be balance though. Oh no. Oh no. No radar map, just using the blood tracks to find the monster. That's weird. Wasn't there a game that was sort of like that a while back? And that game kind of died. What was it called again? Let me have a look. There was a game that's sort of similar in that concept, but Yeah, there was a game called Evolve. No, not Wild Hunts. Although, isn't Wild Hunt that recent one that a few people are playing? That's like pre-World War II weaponry or pre-World War One weaponry, and you hunt like weird creatures. Evolve. I think Evolve. Yeah, it was Evolve. Which I mean, it didn't have bleed mechanics, but you essentially tracked monsters and stuff. Although it is very much a dead game right now. But at the time, watching the gameplay, it was fun. I want the gathering and ecology aspect to my game. I see. Yeah. Usually it's the Asian audience, the Japanese audience that doesn't mind grinding. Because with that amount of work that you can get in, that's well, you get paid off for it. Now the issue is the Western audience though. People in the West don't like grinding for the most part. I personally don't mind grinding if it isn't too bad. But yeah, depends on what market you want to go for. He's playing what I mean, it's Asmongold. He plays a lot of games. I don't he's playing World right now. Are there that many people playing World over on Twitch? Anywho, I'm gonna probably end this off. I probably have to actually do multiplayer for this map. I'll probably do this in my own time. Anywho, let's switch over to Nikke. Disable the volume because I always have to set the volume up whenever I start this. Oh, so it is still quite popular in no, I've seen a ton of people complaining about grinding, but if it's that popular, then I guess it's fine. But the capital that you'd have to put down for like a 3D game like that is going to be a hell of an ask. That's a set useful gathering. Oh no. Yeah, I'd say just be careful with the balancing there. But it shouldn't be too over the top. It should be just enough difficulty. Okay, we need to do this. There we go. Oh no. Okay, yeah, you would actually have to build up. So considering that that's your final goal, are all the other game genres going to be similar? Or is it going to be whatever seems interesting? just the audio. Okay, there we go. Switch it back to aux input. I plan 3 mecha shooters, 1 racing game and maybe a space sim. Three mecha shooters. Wait, why 3? Hmm? You have any... Wait, what are the mecha shooters gonna be like? Star Citizen. Yeah, I hear a lot of people like that game. Whoosh. Battlefield mecha shooter. With a bit of mech warrior and so like yeah, the disable system and stuff as well. Personally, I'd prefer if it were a bit faster paced than Mech Warriors though. I've tried Mech Warrior a bit and it was, oh damn, it was slow. I've also played Armored Core, which wasn't that difficult. It was good fun though. But then again, some people don't like that sort of fast pace. Oh, and thingy. There was also Demon X Machina, which was a very good game. I plan to stream that eventually. Okay, let's go for... Check this. Anketo. Okay, so we'll do that later. Use momentum-based movements, so acceleration to top speed, but fighting at range. So there's going to be no melee classes? Ranged only? Because you know full well there are plenty of people who like to get up close and personal. Grab this. Oh, and with So with Battlefield, the good thing about it, I've noticed, is that everyone basically runs at the same speed. Melee isn't fixed with made to have spawning based on mobile blueprint in Unreal. So basically spawning in allies, enemies to fill the map and capture objectives. So it's going to be a MOBA? Or is it going to be like capture the flag? capture points in Battlefield and then hold on to them as long as possible while gaining points. And yeah, it doesn't have to be the focus, but you know people want to like zip around the map and like engage in close range instead of staying back and using guns. Well, I for one like range, but there are plenty of people who enjoy the risk and reward of going in. Okay, let's do this. Wait, is the mecha shooter gonna be like actual mecha, or are we talking human-sized? I messed up a little. Retry. There we go. So with a large battlefield full of troops constantly killing each other, as of capturing points. Full of troops. So one of the issues would be performance, because you're gonna have a bunch of AI calculations running, right? And it can't be too chaotic because people don't like chaos. That with large battles. Yeah, I'm not talking about the animations though. I'm talking about the AI. Because I know I know Zomboid, most of the lag comes from a bunch of AI, zombie AI trying to take you out, but yeah, it would also depend on how chaotic it would be. Because even with Battlefield, what's the ratio right now? It's like 60 v 60. Wait, what? How big are the Battlefield maps? Not Battlefield maps, Battlefield teams. Field, whatever the shit one is now. I think of Battlefield 6 or something. Player count, player plus player number. 64 players on PS4, 120 in Conquest mode. So 64 v 64. So, okay, so let's say you want to have a bunch of essentially NPCs, right? How many players do you want on a map at any given time? Like how many versus how many? So everything is more level the most narrow to bottleneck. To bottleneck the AI. I see. Oh yeah, that would actually help, I think. So you want 32 v 32 or is it 16 v 16? But computer NPCs unlimited. 32 v 32. Okay, so 64 overall. I see. Unlimited though is, it seems to be a bit much if it's unlimited though. Unless you're gonna balance it out by having the NPCs do, I guess, less damage or something. Because if their NPCs are on par with the player character's damage, that would be, oh, that would suck. That's asking for spawn kills to be an issue. I have to make the first game so I put it in a sequel. So the first game is a single player. How would that work? I see. Wait, let me pull up a game, because if you're gonna make an action shooter, there was a very simple looking game which was fun to play. I'll pull it up after I can finish this boss off. We'll pull up the name. Netcode is pain in the ass. I want to implement rollback netcode from Guilty Gear 3rd, which runs on Unreal Engine. I have no idea about code, so I can't help you there. Okay, now let me see if I can find that very budget game that was quite fun to play. Let's see. No. Not those. It was a game called War Forwards, which was extremely budget, but goddamn was it fun. It was a top-down shooter, the top-down sort of tactical shooter where you cleared areas and the enemies kept coming at you. Yeah, if you don't know how to code either, oh yeah, you're gonna have to save up quite a bit of money to pay off a coder. And try to find a good one. There are so many questionable fucking coders out there. So that's last part of this for today. I think it was cheap, right? Wall forwards. Try it out. See if you actually no, don't spend money. Try to save up money for making the game, but yeah, go look on YouTube for wall forwards. That game was good fun. Just see some videos, see if the gameplay is okay, if that's what you're kind of looking for to make a budget, because that is very budget. As far as I can tell, that is an extremely budget game. But it's very fast paced, very fun to play. Okay, let's go. Wait, but 3D games in Unreal Engine... yeah, I guess nowadays it's a lot easier. It's not as bad as the beginning of 3D games, but... I mean, the game I was playing, Snowbreak, is kind of like that. You could probably make... Yeah, I can see that happening. Okay. Before we let this shut off, we have to wipe these guys out. There we go. There we go. But if you're going to make a budget 3D, I'm guessing it'd be... What view would it be? Top down, first person, third person? Third and first. Ah, I see. Third and first person. So is it... How would that switch? Are we talking like a Fallout thing where you can sort of switch it? Oh, well, I mean, I modified my New Vegas, so I'm not sure if that's vanilla, but... Is it third person hip fire and then, well, point shooting and then first person aim down, or... Switch in menu. Oh, I see. So it's basically pick and choose what you want there. Reticle to be off. Ah. I see. Yeah, that is a problem some games have. I know that Fallout had that issue. Some modders had to like go in and fix that up when they implemented first person. There we go. That's it for solo raid. Wait, is that not it for solo? No, we still need to do a bit more damage. Ooh, yo. You want this FromSoft card? Wait. You know about Revenant, right? That's essentially a FromSoft, but gun version. A FromSoft game, but gun version. Okay, there we go. But FromSoft crowd, the FromSoft but Mecha. I mean, there was Armored Core, but that's Armored Core. A Japanese themed Battlefield game. Hmm. $21.42. The issue with Battlefield is that they have sort of sorted their stuff out, their shit out, but god damn. Then there was the freaking essentially Roblox version of that, which did a lot better. So solar raid is done for the day. 2142. It's the recent one, right? Battlefield 6, essentially. Wait, what? Was it the recent one, or was it like a really old one? Battlefield 2142. Oh, it's that old one. My bad, my bad, my bad. I thought it was 6. No, I sort of remember playing this. Did I? Although I only played it like on some random console in a restaurant or something, but huh. I mean, that looks interesting. Huh. My bad. Yeah. I remember. I remember seeing this here and there. Yes, I remember this. Because when you say Battlefield, I was kind of thinking, huh, Battlefield 4-ish? But if it's 2142. Ah. That actually might be a pretty decent idea, given that a lot of people do yearn for the freaking 2000s days of gaming. God, gaming drops so bad after 2010s. Whew. Oh, I haven't done tower yet. Okay, let's. A lot more to do today. 10:15. I'll have a look at the gameplay after, because I was really young at the time when I played it on a random restaurant's console. There was there's a few places in Australia. There might be some here in the US as well, but so more pre-workout torture. Yeah. Go ahead. Let's see. I'll grab this. Ish. Okay. Hmm? Huh. Okay. Okay, just a few more times there. Then we had to head over to simulation room. Okay. There we go. There we go. What? Okay. Ah. Oh no, did I pick the wrong? Okay, yeah, I did. There we go. Uh-huh. Nice. Proc. There we go. Mm-hmm. Grab that stuff. Grab this. Ish. Grab that. It's fine. Grab that. Let's see. Homing guider. High quality powder. Grab that. Grab that. Let's see. There we go. Okay, grab that. And there we go. That's mostly everything done. Welcome back, my dude. Welcome back. Okay, so that's already done. Get over here. Okay, I do actually have to do this. I should have done this pre-stream, but hey. けど、許可してくれるのだ。許可を出したら、君も無事では済ませないだろう。ちょっと聞いてくれ。OK。ゆきません。ようこそ。解説どうでしたか？ おー。こういったのはいいけれど、ニューヨークマナーの知らない人を送ってしまったわ。よし。
しもべがどこにいても必ず見つけ出すわ。
いや、うんふん。どんなテーマやればいいと思う。え
今日が私たちの記念日になるんだよね。
はあ。ああ。よし。ここに投げる。あ、出た。なんか裏が出たら私がやらなきゃ。じゃあ行くぞ。いい人がいたらどうすればいいの？Of a game called Steel Battalion. I now have to look into it. Steel Battalion. I haven't heard of it, but we shall see. Hmm? I have no idea what this is. Okay. A vertical thing above you heavily armed. Control thing up there. Ah. Hmm. No. I have no idea what this is. I'll look into it later, but I honestly don't know what it is. Okay, we'll grab this. We will grab this. Which that, we'll grab that as well. A mech simulator. I want controlling mechs on one side, the human side to be like that. Okay, on one side. That's on one side. And what about the other side? Yoisho. Ah,
私は無敵ハッカー。今夜も敵のソースコードを狙うよ。
controlling mechs on one side and then... Hmm.
初心者さん。私は無敵ハッカー。
Okay, so that's done. Okay, we can do this now. Into the machine like it's your life. Huh. I see. Okay, so let's see how I'm gonna make this work. Freedom Friday. Okay. So I guess I should start off with, hello, I'm Rate, part of Grego's company. This is Freedom News for Friday the 5th of January 2024. So on the first topic, afuera! God damn that fucking phrase. So, although this is very old news, Javier Milei of Argentina's La Libertad Avanza, Liberty Advances Party, has won. Although this isn't strictly to do with the US, it is interesting. Described as an anarcho-capitalist, a libertarian, and by the left as a far-right extremist, translated as anything right of Stalinist policy. If libertarianism and individualism are far-right, I'll take that title too, thanks. So, as far as I can tell, he has two very big main stances. One, he is anti-public sector and pro-private sector, i.e. he is very pro-capitalist, and upon getting into power, he has disbanded most of the federal agencies if... Oh goddamn, I wish we could have that here in the US. Second, he is also very pro-gun, surprisingly. Although nowhere near the US at all. I hope he'll get there in the future, but this is a good start, since for liberty to thrive, you actually do need a right to keep and bear arms. And as a bonus, he's also very anti-socialist and anti-communist. And that includes the cultural Marxism, also known as wokeism, infesting several US sectors as of late. So congratulations to Argentina. I wish you guys all the best, and I think you guys are in good hands from now on. Next thing is the anime politically correct censors, the localizers, will be facing AI translators. So as some may know, some anime companies have decided to use AI to translate their works. The reason being given is that it's to prevent piracy. They want to be able to essentially release pretty much release the translated version, the subtitled version of anime at the same time as they release it in Japan. And that is probably the main reason. They don't do it for the reasons that, well, I personally want, but hey, that works. The end result is the same. The sensitivity readers, the localizers, the people that decided that it would be a good idea to put political messaging into subtitles, they're facing the chopping block. And that is glorious. Because for the longest time, they bragged about how they inserted their their political ideology into the translations, where it had no place to be whatsoever. But it looks like this may no longer be the case. So what those anime companies are trying to do is not completely get rid of translators, but they're going to have translators look over what the AI has done just to correct it. So we may still see the censors, but it'll be a lot better than before, and I think it'd be easier for the anime companies to catch localizers screwing around. Now, onto gun news. California's sensitive place gun laws, which sensitive places are basically government mandated areas where you're not allowed to carry a gun. This was basically ruled illegal back in 2022 by the Supreme Court of the United States. But California decided that they were special and was going to do it anyway. Well, that's been struck down by one of the judges in California, which is a very good sign for liberty. So there are some judges in California, because they aren't all like this, despite being inferior court judges who are supposed to listen to this United States, or the Supreme Court of the United States, SCOTUS. They're supposed to listen to SCOTUS. But some of them don't. So I'm very glad that the judge that looked at that case actually struck that down and said that no, California, you cannot do this. You cannot ban people from carrying into places, which is nice. Now, next is Hawaii playing very stupid games. So in Honolulu, they passed a law to require training to get firearms. That's great and all. That is great and all. Most people like that. However, you needed to get a training instructor that was designated by the state of Hawaii. I think, oh, was it Honolulu? Maybe it was just the city, I think, of Honolulu, not the entire state. But you need a training instructor to get your permit. They decided to pull the smart move of not assigning a training instructor. So it is very much a de facto gun ban over there right now. Well, that won't hold up in court, and let's hope they get rid of that real quick. That is BS. Okay. Continuing on with gun news, your favorite horse semen man. Yes. Glock, the company that sells the firearm, sells horse semen as well. But the favorite horse semen man has passed away. So, F to pay respects, but he has contributed a lot to the firearms industry, whereby every polymer firearm maker basically just copied his homework. They copied the Glock. Now, for those who have watched my introductory briefing, you know that I carry the joke of a gun known as a Springfield XD, which is a essentially shit Glock with two major glaring issues that you need to fix with aftermarket parts, which I have done with mine, but that's fine. So if you ever need to buy a handgun, just get a Glock. It'll save you a lot of hassle. It'll save you the headache, and there's a lot of aftermarket support for that gun, so go with the Glock. You know what? No, not the Glock. I'll do you one better. Go for Palmetto State Armory's version of the Glock, which is the Dagger. Essentially, the Glock 17, the patent on that ran out, so Palmetto State Armory came in and started making a clone of that. And no, this isn't sponsored, although I would love for them to sponsor me. But their mission statement's cool. They're a good company. They're trying to arm everyone, which is awesome. And on to some more news. Yeah, all of this news is 2023, the end of 2023. Massachusetts federal judge Frank Saylor has decided that an AR-15 ban, as well as a ban on magazines with over 10 rounds, is somehow constitutional. Now, there's not much to comment on this, to be fair in reality, because, well, one, he's an inferior court. Two, the guy's a retard. And we now have to go up the chain. And hopefully we can get it to a higher court to rule against him. Now, the funnier bit of news when it comes to gun news, there was a certain gun control group in New Mexico. One based in New Mexico. Now, they did an oopsie, and now they are in deep legal shit. So these absolute geniuses have decided to play 4D chess with us and violate several felonies. They have violated several felonies for taking firearms from people, destroying them, and not returning them, but instead transferring them, which is highly illegal in New Mexico. That is a felony. And they transferred those firearms to places and people that aren't supposed to have them. For example, they gave a bunch of kids those firearms which they quote-unquote destroyed. No, not all of them were destroyed. Some of them can still function. They gave primary school children guns to play with. That is not a good idea. Please. We get that anti-gunners know nothing about firearms. But stop being dumb. And you know what? The best part is, one of the guns that they helped enact, the gun laws that they helped enact, they're running afoul of that one. Oh, you love to see it. Now, whether or not they win or lose in court, the pro-gun side wins either way. So let's see what happens there. Now, New York. Oh, I hate New York. There isn't much info outside of the fact that they tried to dismiss a challenge to their AR-15 ban, which is weird. I'm pretty sure they're not supposed to be doing this, but okay. But let's hope the plaintiffs succeed, because the judge has heard their arguments and said, okay, well, I mean, this has some merit. So let's hope they win that. Now, before we get into Americana, or Americorner. So, support for gun rights has actually been going up, as well as constitutional carry. The younger generation is also, surprisingly, very pro-gun, which is nice. But, why? Especially why now? Because for the longest time, the anti-gunners went on and on about, oh, well, I mean, the younger generation are going to call for more gun control and we can finally repeal the Second Amendment. That is not the case. So according to Pew Research, right, although polls aren't exactly all that accurate, it does have a very large sample size, so it's the best we have here. Most younger people, although there is a bit more pro-gun sentiment among the younger generation, there's also a lot more people who are apathetic towards it. They don't feel positive or negative towards it. That's one of the things that they haven't taken into account, which is interesting, to say the least. So yes, you're going to get more and more pro-gun people there. Now, especially since people who have been paying attention to what's happening inside the US right now, especially in the cities, a lot of crime, because of criminal reform, a lot of crime is happening. Crime is spiking like crazy. Violent crime did pop up during the lockdowns, but it has gone back down. But property crime, thievery, I mean, there is still some pretty bad murders and stuff as well, and assaults. Oh, so I think assaults have gone up. Assaults have gone up, but murders have gone down, I think. But oh boy, is it bad. And people look at that. The police can't help you because they're demoralized because of the defund the police movement. And people really are looking to firearms to protect themselves, which is a very natural way of thinking, right? Okay, well, I want to be able to protect myself because no one's coming to protect me. Not only is other cities a prime example of what happens when you rely on the government, but Uvalde, a very famous case where police officers didn't want to go in to deal with a school shooter. That opened a lot of people's eyes to the issue with trusting someone else with your safety. So that is very much an issue of personal responsibility. No one's coming to save you, only you can save yourself. And a lot of people realizing this have flocked to gun stores. There has been a very big spike in gun sales under Biden's regime, which is funny because under his regime he's trying to ban the AR-15. But that's not happening anytime soon, especially with crime on the rise. But hey, whatever, I guess. Now, this is one aspect of why people want liberty. They want to be able to protect themselves, and liberty is the only way they're going to get it. The second thing is the appeal to authority. Now, people who know, but an appeal to authority is a fallacy. It is not always a complete fallacy. It is classified as an informal fallacy. But to say just because an authority says something, it must be true. That is not the case. In fact, that has no place especially in science. Now, the interesting thing about science is, for the longest time, people, especially the left, wanted to replace religion with science, which is great and all. You have the scientific method to help prevent issues there. The issue lies with they have now turned science into a religion, and we've seen this with the lockdowns. The left parroted scientists as the priests, essentially, the priest class. And you had to obey select priests, the select scientists, the select priests, not all of them, only the ones that the left designated as trustworthy. You had to trust them. You were not allowed to question what they said. You were not allowed to look at these studies because you are apparently unqualified. Looking at studies isn't that difficult, and I do hope to go into it later, like just a basic overview of what you can look at in studies to quickly dismiss it. There are a lot of shortcuts that you can use to just look through a study quickly, see issues with anything, and then basically determine, okay, well, this isn't a reliable study. But yeah, science was not meant to be turned into a religion. It wasn't. The scientific method is there for a reason. And you're meant to be questioning science. Trust has no place in science. That's the issue. And nor can science prove anything, which is another concern, because any scientist worth their salt will tell you that, well, the science can't prove anything. What science does, and this is a very key part of science, a cornerstone of science, if you will, is you come up with a hypothesis. Your job as the scientist, as the researcher, is to try to disprove that hypothesis, which a lot of people, especially the left, is guilty of. Essentially trying to prove their hypothesis. You're not supposed to do that. And this comes from universities, by the way. A lot of courses in university, yeah, power thing as well, but a lot of courses in university don't get you to look at sources from both sides of an issue. They get you to find sources that confirm your hypothesis, which is the wrong thing to do. You do not do that in science. You have to try to disprove your hypothesis. This doesn't make sense normally to a lot of people, because it's like, why would you try to disprove something you believe, right? And I do have a very apt way of describing why it makes sense logically, because I think subconsciously some people do understand that it makes sense. A hypothesis is basically you have made a handmade bulletproof vest. Let's say you have it rated to stop pistol rounds. That is your hypothesis. To prove that your hypothesis actually works, you now have to try to make holes in it. You have to shoot it. You have to shoot the bulletproof vest with the pistol rounds. And if it has no holes by the end of it, that means that your hypothesis is solid. It basically levels up into a theory, and people will have to repeat that test to try to confirm it. You do not just claim that it can stop bullets and then not test it, right? You can't just not try to poke holes in it. That is probably the easiest way to explain what the scientific method is supposed to achieve and how you're supposed to achieve the results, right? But in the end, it can't prove anything, right? Because there may be a theory or hypothesis that comes around that disproves. You can disprove in science. You cannot prove in science. You can find evidence, a lot of evidence, to support your ideas, to support your hypothesis, but you can never prove it. You can never prove something. And that is something that a lot of people don't understand, not just the left in this regard. A lot of people don't understand that science can't prove anything. And back to appeal to authority, a lot of medical professionals, as well as scientists, researchers, are not moral people. They have a job to do. They don't concern themselves with morals. Philosophers concern themselves with morals. Medical professionals, physicians, concern themselves with the health of the patient, even if what they're doing may be immoral. Science is concerned with advancing human knowledge, even if, and that's why we have laws against them. Same with medical professionals. We have laws against these groups because in the past they have abused their position to do very heinous things. So that's the end of the appeal to authority section. Another issue is censorship. Now, censorship for the past, especially the past 8 years. Now, there was very bad censorship when the right was in power as well. This is the late 1900s, early 2000s when you had the religious right who are trying to censor people. Now that was bad. The left is a lot worse. And you saw this with Twitter as well. We've had a lot of documentation come out from Twitter after Musk took over to show that censorship was an issue. And that the government was involved when that is blatantly illegal. The American government isn't supposed to even think about censorship, but they keep doing it. But yes, that outright blatant violation of censorship, and the people that cheered for it, the left cheered for censorship up until it was turned against them. Up until it was turned against them, they were pro-censorship. The guillotine was turned on their throats, and they had their Robespierre moment. They're still having their Robespierre moment. And then there was the safety mongers. Now, this has to do with lockdowns. There is a famous saying, although this is historically a misquotation, those who sacrifice liberty for a bit of safety deserve neither and will lose both. The lockdowns were that. It was born out of fear and a wanting of safety, and people were willing to throw away Lady Liberty for it. You do not do that. And of course, now, the good thing about this, the good thing about the lockdowns is that people like liberty. They are naturally predisposed to having liberty, but the caveat is they want liberty for themselves, but not for others. That is the base human instinct. People do not like it when they have their liberty violated, but they love being able to tell other people what they can and can't do. And we as people do actually have to fight that urge. The lockdowns, people can only feel fear for so long before they get apathetic towards it. They can only want safety for so long because after a while it starts impacting them. Now, a very potent part of the lockdowns was its effect on the economy. Many people warned that, especially the libertarian side, warned that if you lock down, there will be economic consequences. The left did not listen, and now we're in the situation we're in. And by the way, with the studies that came out afterwards, the same amount of people that died from the pandemic still died. It's like, it didn't help. What all you did was screw over the economy, and you still got the same result, which is not a good thing. So people are sick of safety now. They're sick of coddling. A lot of the issues as well, the appeals to authority and the censorship did ride on the back of safety mongering. That's gone now. People are sick of it. People don't like feeling fear anymore. They don't feel fear anymore. They just want to be left alone. They want to do what they want. And, well, checkmate, authoritarians. Checkmate. Now, this is also a while back, but this really did help swing more people to the libertarian side, more people to be predisposed to loving liberty. And that is innocent until proven guilty. The left love this as well. So believe all women was an issue. That it was one of the biggest issues. But also the Kyle Rittenhouse case, where you had ample evidence that what he did was self-defense. It was justified. But the media tried so hard. The left tried so hard to get him to be convicted. They tried so hard to deceive the public with really weirdly cut, edited videos of the original footage, and they still couldn't get their way. And when people found out, oh, they were pissed. Because one of the fundamentals of liberty is the right to life. And the right to life means that you have a right to protect your life, even if it's with a firearm. He did just that. And the left did not like that. They did not like that one bit. Because the left... it's fine. But the left, they want to be able to defend themselves and then to pick on you. And when you try to defend yourselves, they want to turn you into a pariah. They want to point at you and say, he is a violent authoritarian. He is a violent right-winger. While dismissing any and all claims of violence on their side. Oh, they are so damn dirty. Now, there was also corruption on the left. You had that with BLM. You had that with the weaponization of federal agencies, mainly the FBI and the CIA. The ATF is also being weaponized recently with their law changes, their rule changes, which is BS. They've been changing rules and hoping to get away with it, but they've been bogged down by lawsuits now. Plenty of lawsuits which they're losing. But the weaponization of federal agencies, the selective enforcement of certain laws against one side and not the other. The treatment when they do enforce evenly is, oh my god, that is clear corruption. Holy shit. They will treat the right like dog shit and treat the left with kitty gloves. I fucking swear. Oh, people see that. The people can see that, and they do not like it. Which is why trust in any form of authority, one of the reasons why any trust of any form of authority now is at an all-time low in the US. No one trusts media. No one trusts the government. No one trusts the police. Especially since the police have also been doing the dirty work of trying to confiscate guns. No one trusts the scientists. No one trusts research. No one trusts studies. No one trusts... Well, actually, medical professionals are still sort of okay because among the medical professionals, since it's more a personal thing, like, the medical professionals didn't really get into the politics of fucking around. Well, fucking around with politics. But trust in most authority is dead. Trust in the judicial system is almost dead. It is very close to being dead. And this is all to do with the stupidity, the politicization of those institutions. And all of that combined is what gets people to hate authority and to love liberty. Because now you have two alternatives. You can have your safety. You can have all the safety you want. But you give up all of your liberty. All of it. Not just some of it. All of it. And no one likes that. People fundamentally understand that safety is not worth giving up all of your liberty. People fundamentally understand this. Which is why now, in the US, oh, the left is losing power, and it is wonderful to see. I, for one, am not left or right. I'm more libertarian than anything. I don't like it when the left censors. I don't like it when the right censors. And if everyone just left each other alone, this shit show wouldn't be happening. But once people get their hands on power, oh, power doesn't corrupt, by the way. That is a misnomer. That is a fundamental misunderstanding of what power does. Power reveals what people will do when they get their hands on power. If you want to see what a man does, if you want to see a man's character, you give him power. Now, the right showed what they would do in the early 2000s with power. It's the left's turn showing what they're doing with the power they have in modern day. And now they're about to lose it. The worrying trend, however, is that the right will go back to the 2000s. That is the worrying trend. The pendulum is swinging back to the right. On the one hand, it's great because it is not as bad as the left. On the other hand, it's still pretty bad. It is not something that's desirable. So, as always, I will point my gun at the authoritarian, whether on the left or the right. And I think that's it for today's news. For, well, this episode's Freedom Friday. Not sure when the next one will be, but hey. Now, for those of you who are interested in this sort of news, I do have two sources when it comes to gun news. So on YouTube, there is the 4 Boxes Diner. The 4 boxes being a reference to the 4 boxes of liberty, which are the 4 boxes I have on my screen right now. I will explain this after I explain a few other parts of American culture. But that's a reference to that. And he does in-depth legal coverage. In-depth legal coverage of guns. For the most part, I think he very rarely does news on Trump, I think. But for the most part, it is guns. And then there's also Fudbusters. Both of those channels are by paralegals, by the way. They're by lawyers. Fudbusters is a more niche one. They do a lot more comedy. They're a podcast. But Fudbusters is very good. Both of them are on YouTube. So Fudbusters is spelt F-U-D-D-B-U-S-T-E-R-S. Fudbusters. And the 4 Boxes Diner is, well, the 4 Boxes plus Diner. D-I-N-E-R. So go to them for legal discussions on the latest firearm news. Now, as for libertarian information, I generally don't watch anyone simply because I have my own stances on it. But there's a channel called Mentis Wave on YouTube. So that's spelled M-E-N-T-I-S-W-A-V-E. And he goes very in detail onto political ideology. So that's very good because he doesn't try to straw man political opponents. He will still man them and then kick them, which is fun. So those 3 channels are those 2 channels for the guns as well, where I get info. Mentis Wave is just a good watch to try to understand your political others, not necessarily opponents, but just to understand political ideology as a whole. And to finish off with freedom news, let freedom ring. That felt good. Now, Americana. Whew. How long did that go for? An hour-ish? No, a bit under an hour, but hey, good enough. Now, so Americana. Before we go into any sort of American culture, this isn't really American culture, but it is a foundation for it, given that it is also the basis for English common law, which America is based on. And that is the discussion about what rights are. Rights come in 2 flavors, largely. There are the positive rights, and there are the negative rights. Now, positive and negative in philosophy are different to what positive and negative mean in general parlance. Positive is when you give something. Negative is when you take something away. So what does this mean for rights? Positive rights are rights that you are given by others, what others might owe you. Negative rights are rights that you have naturally. They're rights that others are not allowed to take away from you. Now, if you know about the very famous few words in the Declaration of Independence, yes, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those are property and business rights. That's what pursuit of happiness means. It is very frilly language to call it the pursuit of happiness, but the pursuit of happiness refers to property and business rights. Those are what we classify as negative rights. Negative rights cannot be taken from you. You can give them away. You can give them up. They are your rights. You own them. They're yours and yours alone. But they cannot be involuntarily taken away from you without it being a violation. Because in the end, if you cannot protect those rights yourself, you essentially have no rights. The inability to protect what you have means you don't own it. Unfortunately, morally you do, but realistically speaking, you do not. Those are negative rights: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, to maintain, you will have separate rights to maintain those rights. Your right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. One of them being the right to keep and bear arms. That is also a negative right, although lots of countries don't want to give you that right. They don't want to accept that right. They will persecute you for that right. They want to take away that right, despite it being a negative right. Now, the right to keep and bear arms comes from the right to self-defense, which comes from the right to life. To have a right to life, you have to be able to also defend it. And no one in their right mind, if they actually think for more than 5 minutes about the topic, no, more than 2 seconds about the topic, is going to bitch if you defended yourself with a firearm from someone who's trying to kill you. No one's gonna bitch. Well, actually, no, I take that back. There are idiots who will actually bitch. Yeah, there are actually idiots who will bitch. I take that back. My bad. But sensible people will not bitch if you defend yourself with a firearm. In fact, no one has a right to tell you what you're able to defend yourself with, within reason, okay? Yes, you cannot defend yourself with a nuke because you're going to die in the explosion. That's not defending yourself at that point. But within reason, no one really has any right to tell you what you can and can't defend yourself with, whether that be a knife, a sword, a gun. If it works, then you should use it. Now, against the government, you're going to need some bigger firepower, but I digress. You still have that right. Positive rights, however, for those of you who are a little bit more intelligent, positive rights can lead to slavery. Because positive rights, as you may recall, means that someone owes you that right. Someone has to give you that right. And slavery employed that liberally. That was not a good time. Now, positive rights do have their place in society. But, there are caveats. Positive rights tend to come around when people are involved. Not a person, not an individual, when there is more than one person involved. Whether that be a transaction, whether that be interaction, any sort of interaction actually. Positive rights become a necessity. For example, if you pay for a service, the positive right would be they have to provide that service. They have asked you for payment. You have paid them. They now owe you a service. That would be your right to a service in that situation. And there are plenty of people who somehow skip that step and say that food is alright. Healthcare is alright. Now, hot take. Actually, very logical take. None of those are rights. Now, you have a right to go and make your own food, to go and gather your own food. You have a right to pay a physician to treat you. And when you pay them, they have the responsibility to treat you. That is the positive right there. You do not get free healthcare. Healthcare is not a right. If you make healthcare a right, that would mean that the healthcare provider, the physician, would have to treat you no matter what. That, my friends, is what we call slavery. And we've had a war over this. And I'll happily do that war again if need be. If you require something from someone else and you do not give them sufficient compensation, that is not a right. You have to compensate them. That is how this works. If you force them to provide you a service without compensation, that is slavery. Do not do that. It's funny because the left advocates for these policies. So the left, like the Democrats in the past, are now advocating for slavery, which is wonderful. This is wonderful. Oh, I hate these people. I fucking swear I hate these people. So, now that we've gotten rights out of the way, let's also talk about what the Constitution is. Because a lot of people conflate the two. The left especially, but also the right. This is where both sides are stupid. Now, you'll have heard the term constitutional rights. Those don't exist. That does not make sense. Because you don't get your rights from a constitution. That is not where your rights come from. That's not what a constitution is. A constitution is a legal document which protects the rights that you already have. So even if you get rid of things in a constitution, you still have those rights. What you don't have at that point is the legal protection. The Constitution is a legal document that protects your rights legally, that gives you legal protection for your rights from the government. It is meant to protect you from the government. You do not get your rights from there. You have rights basically separate. I don't know why the word isn't coming to me, but your rights are separate from the Constitution. Again, both left and right will conflate what the Constitution says with their rights. Those two aren't the same things. Those two are not the same things. They cannot be the same things. I'll be damned if they're the same thing. So no, you do not get your rights from a piece of a legal documentation, okay? You don't get your rights from that. Stop advocating for that. No, you have rights. Then the Constitution protects those rights. Get that into your head. This is very important. Now, for those of you who are pro-gun, it may have clicked. Wait, does that mean I still have a right to keep and bear arms even if people get rid of the Second Amendment? The answer is yes. But at that point, you have to do a little funny business. You have to leverage a little bit of force to convince people to leave you alone, to not take away your rights, to not touch your rights. But yes, it does mean that your right to keep and bear arms is separate from the Constitution. It's just that the Constitution gives you a legal shield against the government. That's it. That's all it is. That's all the Constitution is. The Constitution is not a right. It is not a list of rights. It does not grant you rights. It protects your rights in court against the government. That's it. That's all it does. Whew. Now that rant's over. Oh, goddamn. I should make a video out of this. I swear. There are so many people who don't know what rights are. Okay. Okay. My voice is starting to hurt. Let's move on. All right. Wait, how much should I cover in Americana? And how much time has elapsed? 10 minutes. It's been, no, 11 minutes since we finished off the afuera section, the freedom section. Okay, freedom news section. Should I go further than this though? Because we covered the base of what I wanted to cover today. Well, if you have any questions about rights, I will answer them, but I don't want to go through too much because at that point I will run out of things to talk about during Friday. Go on. Let me drink something. Okay, there we go. That felt good. But yes, go on with your question. Let's see. Oh, I can cover this as well. This is very important. How I feel about Andrew Tate. I don't like him. I don't like what he advocates for. It is fucking stupid. It also has nothing to do with libertarianism, so I'm that's kind of pointless for me to cover that guy. But right now, because of a certain feminine ideology, which Twitch or YouTube may try to ban me for, things aren't going well between the sexes, which is kind of dumb. Now, to be fair, most of the shit show that we see that's covered online is because it's online and you have a bunch of narcissistic fucking pricks who are having goes at each other. In the real world, it isn't that bad. But online, dating apps, shit like that, it is an outright fucking shit show. So, what I recommend you do when it comes to those sorts of topics, don't listen to them. Ignore the online shit. I mean, yes, there are things that you have to look out for, things you have to be careful of when it comes to courts. And this is also why a lot of people don't trust the judicial system lately. People in reality who aren't terminally online are good people. Some of them may be dumb. Some of them may be the terminally online trash. But for the most part, people are decent. Try to stay offline in those sections of the internet. It isn't worth it. It really is not worth it. As for manhood, like this weird discussion about being all manly or being womanly from the left and the right, it's so dumb. Like, you're gonna have some more masculine women, you're gonna have some more feminine men. It's fine. And besides, masculinity, when it comes down to it, is, are you gonna be fucking influenced by what others say? Honestly, it comes down to that. Because your muscles aren't gonna save you from that. Bodybuilding isn't gonna save you from that. A gun, honestly, isn't gonna save you from that. Like, can you shake off peer pressure? Can you hold to your principles? That is probably a lot more important for being quote-unquote manly. Yeah, it's just... The internet is the perfect echo chamber. Honestly, it is. Because people will feed one another the same recycled bullshit, and then they will slowly and surely radicalize. This is on the left and the right, by the way. And they have the worst part is, humanity in general, has no defense against that. It is a cycle of confirmation bias, which is humanity's natural predisposition. If you do look into critical thinking and stuff, you do have methods to deal with that BS. But oh boy, people don't critically think nowadays. I used to think that I was pretty dumb. Like, you'd have the average person, you'd have me, and then you'd have people dumber than me. I now realize that isn't the case. You have dumb people like me, you have the smart people, you have dumb people like me, and then you have the dumber general populace. And that saddens me. Although academically speaking, there's plenty of people smarter than me, to be honest. There are plenty of general topics that people are smarter than me at, but that is actually depressing. Will I vote for Biden? Will I vote for anyone is the question. Fuck everyone, man. Most of the politicians here are dog shit. God damn. It's all so tiresome. It is all so fucking tiresome. And no, if you're gonna ask if I voted for Biden in the 2020s, no, I wouldn't vote for that fucker with a 10-foot pole, bro. Fucking hell. God damn. But then again, it's just a fucking shit show. I'll do what I can to spread liberty. That's it. That's my only job. That's my only job, to teach people about liberty, about rights, and to spread that. I don't care what happens beyond that. That's out of my control. That's out of my power, man. The best piece of advice I can give you, if you can, is just get a gun. Arm yourself. Make sure anyone who tries to violate your rights, they pay in blood for it. You make sure you do not let go of your rights. You do not let go of your liberty. That's your only responsibility to liberty. That is the only thing you need to do. Otherwise, you have no rights. You have no liberty. If you're willing to give up liberty for even a second, you have none of it. Thou shalt not murder. My ass. You think I'm religious? And besides, it's not murder, it's self-defense. Murder, at least legally speaking, is when you kill someone for no good reason. If you're protecting yourself, guess what? Self-defense, my dude. What are we talking about? Afghanistan? Oh boy. Oh, that was a great shit show. But yes, if you want rights, if you want liberty, you have to be able to protect them, like I said. If you have an inability to protect those things, you will lose them. Hands down. Because there will always be some dirtbag who will try to take away your rights. You don't live in the USA. I understand. I also understand that 3D printed firearms are a thing. Do with that information what you will. Do with that info what you will. 3D printed firearms exist. You can make firearms at home. This is a thing. Although it may be illegal where you live, I don't really care about laws outside the US, to be honest. I really don't. And let's say, yes, I understand. Outside of the US, I can go right ahead and make a 3D printed firearm right now if I wanted to. I have the 3D printer ready. Whew. But yes, I understand that it's illegal. But again, I don't care. That's not the US. And free men do not ask permission. And even if you don't have access to firearms, at that point, learn a martial art, train. Make sure you have some sort of way to make people bleed for trying to violate your rights. That is the only way authoritarians will learn. That is the only way people who try to take away your rights will learn. They will not learn any other way. They do not learn until they suffer the consequences of what they're advocating for, afflicting onto others. That is the only way they learn. And that's if you're lucky, because there are plenty of them who will suffer the consequences and come back at you with a vengeance. They don't care. They want it their way or the highway. Do not give them that. Whatever you do not give them that. And that is how you maintain liberty. Paranoid. Do you call it paranoid when the government is actively trying to take away your guns? Is that paranoia? Hey, there's court documents. There's legal cases. There's the fact that we had to get the Supreme Court to get the anti-gunners to back off. Twice, by the way, once in 2008 and again recently in 2022. There is no paranoia there. People trying to take away your rights, trying to censor you, is a real threat. It's been happening. It has happened throughout history. Unless you're going to call history paranoia, then I'm not sure what to tell you, man. Look, and they are your rights, okay? What you do with your own rights is beyond me. I don't care. To be perfectly honest, those are your rights. You have a right to life. If you want to throw away your life, that's up to you. You have a right to liberty. If you want to throw away your liberty, that is up to you. I don't care. You have the right to the pursuit of happiness, to private property and business rights. If you want to throw that away, that is up to you. I don't care. Nothing to do with me. I don't own your rights. You own your rights, okay? You can do with that what you will. You do not get to tell other people to throw away their rights. You don't get to advocate for getting rid of their rights. That's not how that works. Do what you will with your own rights, but people who want their own rights will keep them. And if they want to keep them, there is only one way to keep them. Defend your rights to the death. Ah, that felt good. Okay. So what time is it now? 11:30. So it looks like Freedom Friday. I will have to adjust the time for it. Just because I have nowhere near enough stuff to cover. So we've covered rights for today. Huh. What to do? All right, we can cover this, I guess. Okay, so before we end this off, we can cover the 4 boxes of liberty then. Now, the 4 boxes of liberty is an American philosophy. It is an American concept. And it is a very heavily ingrained part of American culture. Although mostly subconsciously. Now, the 4 boxes of liberty, as you can see on the screen, let me close this down. Close that down. You can bring this up. as you can see here on the top left, as well as the bottom left and just next to my model here, those are what we call the 4 boxes of liberty. They are both literal and figurative. Now, to start off, the first box of liberty is what is known as the soap box. As you can see, it's a box with soap in it. Now, this comes from, historically speaking, when people would get soap boxes that ship soap, I think from Britain to the US. They would stand on top and they would talk. And this is meant to figuratively refer to freedom of speech, the ability to talk, the ability to say what you want to say, the ability to offend others without consequence, the ability to criticize the state without retaliation, freedom of speech. This is the first box of liberty. This is, I want to say, no, I take that back. It is actually not the most important part of liberty. It is not the most important box. It is in fact the 4th important box. Now, when this is violated, this first box of liberty on the top left here, you go to the next box of liberty. This is the ballot box. This represents the right to vote. It is of course a positive right. By voting, you can influence policy, and you can hopefully avoid very bad situations, very bad policy, a shit show. This isn't always the case. The ballot box has failed in US history before, and it failed pretty badly right after World War II with the Battle of Athens, but we will get into that event another time. But the ballot box doesn't always work. Voting doesn't always work. And it doesn't matter which part of the political spectrum you're on, you have voted before. You have been disappointed, both when you've won and didn't get what you want, and when you've lost the vote. It sucks. But that is the next box of liberty. Again, that is the 3rd box of liberty. It is not the most important one. The 2nd box of liberty, that is the jury box. In America, I'm not sure about it in other countries, but at least in America, you have something known as jury nullification. Again, that falls under a positive right. Jury nullification is when you can hold out. In fact, the entire jury can hold out and declare someone who has violated a law, even if they've clearly violated that law, you can, as a jury, declare them innocent. It doesn't work the other way around, by the way. It is very much an innocent proven guilty until proven guilty concept. You can vote someone innocent. You cannot vote them guilty, only innocent. This is what you can use if you don't like what a law is doing to someone, what a law does. It has been used before. Now, there has been a crackdown in the US in the past few decades because judges, some of them being stuck up their own ass, they don't like the fact that the jury can tell them to fuck off, that the jury can nullify laws. But it is a right. The right to jury nullification does exist. It is extremely important, and it should be utilized when appropriate. But if you are to use jury nullification, make sure that you hide the fact that you're trying to nullify. Because in a lot of states, they need everyone to agree on a verdict. So if you are the one holdout, you make sure that you hide the fact that you're trying to nullify. Otherwise, they can dismiss you, and you can do nothing in that situation. Yes, the judicial system is trying to get rid of jury nullification. That's why you have to play very sneaky games when it comes to jury nullification, which is unfortunate. So the jury box is almost essentially non-existent. It still exists, but it's holding on by a thread, to be honest. Now, the fourth box of liberty. The fourth box of liberty is the cartridge box. The cartridge box, as you can see, it's a bullet box. But the cartridge box, let me get rid of these, represents something very simple. The right to keep and bear arms. The right to leverage lethal force against any form of tyranny. That is the most important box of liberty. In fact, you utilize the boxes of liberty in that order. You first use freedom of speech. Then you move on to the ballot box. Then you move on to the jury box. And finally, you move on to the cartridge box. It is to be done in that order. Violence is bad. Violence should not be the first option. You do not resort to violence as the first option. You resort to it when there is no other option. Which is why we use the judicial system to try to get our way. Which is why we use elections to try to get our way. Which is why we use free speech to try to get our way. We do not use guns until absolutely necessary. And although I say it is to be done in this order, you don't have to check all of the boxes. There was an event that I referenced earlier, the Battle of Athens, Tennessee, where it only took one of the boxes of liberty to be violated for the cartridge box to come out. That was the ballot box. Which is also why I don't like democracies and I don't like elections. But I digress. And that's it for the box. 4 boxes of liberty. And I guess this episode's Americorner. Whew. Guess that's it for today. And we are at 11:40. We are talking about freedom here. Channel, liberty. Liberty. And American, wait, the entire channel as a whole? So we cover liberty. We cover guns. Well, gun laws. And what's been happening there. Oh, okay. That's good to know that you're European. I'm so sorry that you're European. I really am. Jokes aside. So, gun laws, we cover liberty in the US, of course. Have a great... yeah, we're finishing off for the most part now because there are other things to cover. The issue is that I'll run out of stuff to cover on other Freedom Fridays. So if you want, you can watch the archive, and I'm pretty sure I have playback on the video. I have DVR on the video. But as for explaining what the channel covers, it's, yeah, really just liberty. We do games on pretty much other days as well as art, if you're interested in that. But we are very liberty focused. As well as American philosophy focused, but I digress. So, sorry I couldn't extend it beyond that. I did want to extend it to 3, but I've just started streaming. I'm still trying to figure out the time for everything. And it just so happens that the first Freedom Friday is probably going to be a good measure of what I can and can't do for how long on Freedom Fridays. So, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, if you want, and you have some free time, go watch the archive. And yeah, I think that's it for today. God, my voice hurts. Okay. Thanks for watching, and well, this week's Freedom Friday. It might be a monthly thing, but I'll see you guys later on. Tomorrow for a different stream. Bye-bye.